Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this afternoon. We don't normally do a testimonial call in the afternoon, but we're excited to do it today and work around Micah's schedule. So I just can't wait for him to tell you his story. It's just so phenomenal. I'm Nikki McCutchen. I'll be your host for the call tonight or for the call today. It'll be just about 30 minutes. We'll go over Micah's story and then I'll just explain how the technology works. And if you have any questions for Micah, you can feel free to ask them as well. But with that, let me just go over the medical disclaimer really quickly. So all LifeWave products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease. If you are pregnant or nursing or have any kind of health conditions, please make sure you check with your preferred healthcare practitioner first. And with that, I am super excited to introduce you all to my friend, Micah Stockton. He is a veteran. And so we thank you so much for your service to our country and to us, Micah. Really appreciate that. As well as he owns Gremlin Jiu-Jitsu studio here in Tulsa. My son has actually trained with him. He is a fantastic trainer and coach. And so if you're in the Tulsa area, definitely go in and check out his studio. He's a champion MMA fighter. And so we're super excited for him just to tell his story with the technology. So, Micah, if you will just come on and tell us why you decided to start using the technology, how long you've been using it, and what results you've seen.
Okay, so let's start back on it just a little bit there. So I'm 41 years old. My family's had a major heart history problems. My grandma died at 41 of heart problems, and my dad had congestive heart failure also at 40 years old. So I was in the Marine Corps. I was Amish when I was a kid. I joined the Marines and started jiu-jitsu and training. And when I got out of the Marine Corps, I kept training and fighting professionally. And so being a fighter, I ate pretty healthy, and I retired for a few years, didn't fight for a while. I didn't retire. I just stopped fighting when I was about 35. And then I came back and someone had beaten one of my students. And I was like, man, I want to get back and fight. And the kid called me out. So I'm 40 years old. And I was like, hey, I'm going to come back and fight him. And Nikki was in a business group with me. And each week she would talk about the LifeWave patches. And so I looked at it, and she was sending me videos and different tips and stuff. And a big tip was I seen on there, it said the Olympic team, and I might be wrong, was like 2008 or 2006, they started using them. And I thought, well, if the Olympic teams are using them and they're still consistently using them, then I'm going to give it a try. It's like, if it helps, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm pulling every stop out to try to be the best me in a legal, good manner, health wise. And so I started using the patch, and I started, I think, with the 39 and the 49. I'm not sure which one I started with, but I started taking both of them. And then I was training to fight and training, and took about 13 weeks. And so I'm really watching my diet, really watching stuff. And she would ask me every week, hey, how are you feeling? How do you feel? And I'm like, well, I'm eating healthier. I'm doing a lot more healthy things. So I really don't know what's from the passion, what isn't. But the way I feel, I'm going to keep doing it. So I keep taking the patch. And now to back up on that a little bit, in the VA checks my cholesterol every 6 months because of my family's history. And they told me, hey, your cholesterol's high. We need you to take this medicine. But it was right on the borderline. So it wasn't super high, but it's right on the border where, hey, taking medicine's not a bad idea. And so they told me to take it. And I told them I'm not going to. I'm going to watch my diet and exercise and do all the stuff. And I go back in, and they said, hey, your numbers. And I was getting ready for my fight. So I was really doing everything right. And they're like, hey, your numbers are 20 to 30 points lower than they were. But so the medicine's working. We still want you to take the medicine because you're right on that borderline. And now, about a week or two ago, I go back I had opened my gym and done everything. I had 2 more matches. So I continue to eat healthy and do the right things. And continued to not take the medicine, which I don't advise anyone to not, but I didn't take the medicine. And I won 2 more matches. So at 41, after 40, I went 3-0. And so that's something that speaks well to the recovery and everything of that. But the big thing is when I went back to the VA last week or 10 days ago or so, they said, hey, we ran your blood work, and your cholesterol dropped over 100 points on the one. It was like 103. And then your other cholesterol dropped 27. And so they're like, you need to keep the medicine where you have it. This is perfect. And I said, well, doc, I didn't take the medicine like I told you I wasn't going to. And he said, well, what did you do? And I said, well, I've been eating healthy. There's a meal prep place downstairs. I've been doing that. And I also taken a LifeWave patch. And he said, well, that's an amazing deal. Keep doing what you're doing. And we're not going to prescribe you the medicine anymore. So I never took the cholesterol medicine, and my levels are now in a very, very good, healthy range. Like my levels could be 60 points higher and not need medicine. So pretty good story on that. And then the recovery has been good. Sometimes, like everything, we forget. And if I forget and don't take the patches for a couple of days, and I feel a little more sore. And so the doc told me just keep doing what you're doing. And so just the healthy stuff. And so it's pretty happy with it. And my next match will, if I do it, will be in August. So
awesome.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah, my husband and son love to go watch him. So if you're in Tulsa, it's definitely a show that you don't want to miss. Pretty amazing, amazing stuff. So yeah, and they always tell me that you're their favorite. You're always their favorite. So yes, that's awesome. Yeah, so that's so exciting. So help with, obviously the cholesterol is just jaw dropping to have. So you've probably been wearing, would you say about a year you've been on the patches now?
Well, my fight was June 21st of last year. And I started taking it 12 weeks before that. So,
Okay.
yeah, about a year and 2 months.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So yeah, so that's awesome. Just the long-term benefits of using the technology and how it just starts to have a compounding effect and keeps working. It just keeps working to help things. So yeah, so that's so exciting. And that combination, for your heart, especially the X39, X49 is a fabulous combination for your heart, as well as all the other things that you love to do, to fight and to work out constantly and train and coach and teach. And so that's amazing. I love that. Anything else that you've noticed with the technology, difference in sleep or energy?
that I really haven't. I just I feel healthy, and I feel like, I mean, I'm 41 and I'm doing jiu-jitsu 25 hours a week in training. And so I'm not on TRT. I'm not on all the other supplements. Really the only thing I do is take a daily vitamin, some fish oil, and then the LifeWave patches, and then just eat healthy, clean food. And that's the major difference. And so I'm just going to continue to do that. And who knows how much longer I will compete, but I'm definitely going to teach forever. And my wife and I opened this gym here on March 1st. And so if you want to check out my stuff, is check out Gremlin Jiu-Jitsu. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on TikTok, it's on Instagram. And my name is also Micah Stockton. It's all linked all together. And I do have a website, which is Gremlin Jiu-Jitsu and Fitness.
Awesome. That's perfect. Yes. And yeah, I have watched his stuff online so for sure check him out online as well, because it's just he is very good at what he does, obviously, and amazing that at 41 that you can keep fighting at that kind of level. That is extremely impressive for sure. So I know you're working hard to be able to do what you do and be a champion at it. So that's amazing. So I'm just going to share real quick with everyone how the technology works. If you have any questions for Micah, you can type those in the chat, or you can come on after I explain the technology, or if you have another question about the technology, that's fine too. But basically, our company has been around for over 20 years. It is patented technology. We have over 200 patents. There is over 90 clinical studies. There is nothing in the world that does what X39 does. It is truly a one-of-a-kind product. We literally watch miracles all the time. It's a medical grade plastic, completely encased in plastic, hypoallergenic. I don't have one. I'm going to take the one off my neck. I have it on my neck so you can see it. This is what it looks like. Sorry, obviously it's been on my skin, so it doesn't look very clean. I was like, oh, I normally have a patch here. I didn't have it here today to show you. But it's completely encased in medical grade class 1 medical device plastic. So there's nothing entering the body. It's completely non-transdermal. It is made in a crystal lattice structure at the microscopic level. There's stereoisomers that are reflective like a mirror. That reflects our own body's infrared light. So how that works is actually, it works through a process called photobiomodulation. That's just a big word for light making change in the body. Every time you step out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to make vitamin D. And that vitamin D then goes and does what the body needs to use it for. That's just how our bodies work. So this technology works the same way. When you think about the military, like Micah is a Marine, when you think about them using night vision goggles, and they're looking through those night vision goggles and they're talking about seeing a heat signature with all those different colors, scientifically, that is a low-grade infrared light. That infrared light emits everywhere on our bodies, and it is reflected like a mirror back from the patch into your body, turning on very specific peptides so that they will go and do what they're designed to do, what the body needs them to do. So really, it's your body that's doing the work. So Micah talked about eating right, eating healthy, and he's exercising. He's doing all these other things so that his body can work optimally. And so that's really the point, is that we should all be pursuing health in a way that allows us to optimize our health. And you can see that with Micah being able to be 41 and fighting the way he does and training and teaching the way he does as well. So the peptide that gets activated is called GHK copper peptide. You can go on Google, PubMed, look that up. There's going to be a very long list of things that comes up with that and all the different things. I'm just going to tell you just a few real quickly, but it does a lot of things in the body. So like Micah talked about, the support for your heart. So it also has heart support. So every 6 weeks that you utilize the technology, it reverses the age of your cardiovascular system by 8 weeks. So think in your head and do that math a little bit, where you truly are getting age reversal. Every 6 weeks, you've got 2 extra weeks that your body is now reversing the age of your cardiovascular system. So the longer you wear that, has a compounding effect. So hopefully, Mike has reduced his cholesterol. Hopefully he's going to see that, the heart issues that were found in his family is not ever going to be a thing for him, because his body is doing what it needs to support his heart. So it also helps with the brain. So your brain, it helps to reduce anxiety, depression lifts, helps to turn on cortisol. So that stress, relaxation comes over people. That happens in the clinical studies. We see that at about 6 weeks. But again, that will have some type of compounding effect for people. So, but the biggest thing is, so those are two major systems in the body, but the biggest thing is actually the stem cells. So it activates your stem cells, which is why the Olympians are using it, which is, why all these athletes are using it, because it allows their body to continually regenerate and recover quicker and faster. And that's what's so amazing about this, is that you can truly have regeneration take place because you have the stem cells activated, and then you have those normal body systems activated as well, which is what's so cool. So a stem cell can go anywhere and do anything. Obviously, we're seeing it in Micah's test results. It's just helped to balance out whatever was going on in his cholesterol and whatever problems were being caused there. It just went in, and his body was able to do what it was designed to do. Our bodies are designed to heal. And so that's what this technology gives us availability to do with the stem cells. So another major thing is immune support. All of us want our immune system to work better, to work more properly. It helps to boost that as well. Collagen is another big thing. So our collagen declines at about the same pace that our stem cells decline. So by the time we're 30, half of our stem cells are no longer working optimally. The collagen declines at that same rate. So by the time we're 60, we only have about 10% of our stem cells that are any longer working optimally for us, as well as our collagen has declined. Most people
He doesn't keep up with soccer. He doesn't keep up with baseball.
Sorry, most people think that collagen is just hair, skin, and nails, but it's not. It is the glue that actually holds our body together. So it helps with the fascia, with the joints, with the ligaments, with the tendons, with all the linings of all the organs in our body. Collagen does so much for us, and this is elevating collagen from the base. So all 28 different types of collagen in our body is now being supported through this technology. So you can see when we're talking about all these different things, you are getting benefits across the board by just using X39. So that we haven't even brought up how Micah was using the X49, which activates AHKCU, which is a daughter peptide to GHKCU. So those two work in tandem, a mother-daughter pair that work in tandem beautifully, synergistically in the body to have major heart benefits, brain benefits, athletic performance benefits. And so those things are hugely elevated when you are synergistically using those two patches together. So trying to think, so the biggest thing is 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Like Micah said, sometimes we forget, but you can always just skip a day. If you leave it on too long and you need to skip a day, that's how you do that. Or if you forget, like Micah said, he would notice. He would notice that he was more sore and stiff, lactic acid would build up. So being consistent is really helpful and huge, especially when you work as hard as Micah does. So 12 hours on, I put mine on in the morning when I get up. I take them off when I go to bed at night. And then the next day I put on brand new patches. So and you just do that. You just consistently do that. Hydration is obviously key. Micah obviously has to be very well hydrated to do everything that he's doing. You also need good, high quality electrolytes. That's really key in allowing your body to be able to talk to each other, the cells to be able to talk back and forth to each other and communicate, as well as that's everything in the body. That's just natural, good, healthy habit to do. But it's going to help everything else work better in the body as well. So that is how the technology works. Let me see. So Micah put in there, let's see. Oh, you also got a life. If you want to share this, Micah, go ahead. You can share this with us.
Okay. I had bought a life insurance policy about 7 years ago, and they have like a non-smoker rating, and then there's 2 levels above that, and I had got the second level above that. I just got one about a month ago, and at 41, and this time I got the best rating the life insurance company offers. So the diet and the cholesterol level and all the little things, when they did all their tests and blood work, I was able to get the best rating they offer. And so that's also another a big thing.
Yeah, that's huge because that's truly showing that even in your blood, things are changing and reversing. So knowing that you weren't getting the best rating possible yet, and now you have access to that. So looky there. We spend some money on some amazing technology to help our health, and it allows us to spend less on our life insurance. So you can save money doing that as well. What's so interesting too about that, Micah, that you say that is that happened to my husband and I as well. Because when we did all of our blood work for the life insurance policy, our guy had told us that he had never seen anyone, especially a couple, both husband and wife, rank in the excellent category when we were at 51 and 53. He's never seen that before. So that's a true testament to the technology and the patches as well. And so I'm glad that you had that result like we did too. So yeah, and Micah's put his website in the chat as well. So you want to grab that so you can check out, especially if you're in Tulsa, want to check out his Gremlin Jiu-Jitsu for sure. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask Micah? Roberto, did you have anything?
Well, I have his website. Probably we want to talk about techniques and other drills together.
Awesome. Yeah.
I also I share a lot of stuff on my Facebook, like techniques, and you can add me on my Facebook, and that's just I'll type my name in there. It's Micah Stockton, or I'll put a link in there for it. And any of that stuff you want to talk about, any recovery stuff, we can talk about all that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know Roberto was asking about injuries, but I didn't think that you had to use the technology really for any injuries.
No, thankfully not. One thing I do as being older is I train, but I train smarter than I trained when I was younger. And so I have like a hard day, an easy day, a hard day, an easy day. And that way my body recovers, and it recovers well. One of my students actually asked me, I hooked him up with Nikki the other day. He's like, what do you do for supplements and recovery? And I said, I just eat healthy. I take some basic vitamins and fish oil for my joints and the patches, and that's all I really do. And so he wanted to contact her about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's what we're here for sure. So we can help more people get results that they couldn't get otherwise. Because you had told me before, Micah, how you really, I mean, had a pretty good diet. Obviously, you were already exercising. You'd already been watching things, and so the add of the patch is really what changed. So especially for your cholesterol.
Yes, yeah, that was, I mean, eating healthy and exercising and making sure I wasn't eating fast food and all that stuff lowered it about 20-30 points. But adding the patch and doing everything together and continuing that made it 100 and about 103 points, and then 27-30 on the other. So that patch made a dramatic difference on that.
Yeah, for sure. Huge. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Micah, for coming on. We so appreciate your time and sharing your story with us. Please definitely remember, if you are looking for a fantastic jiu-jitsu studio in Tulsa, Gremlin Jiu-Jitsu is fantastic. Micah is a fabulous coach. Like I said before, my son absolutely loves him. So you will be very well trained and educated in how to do things right. And so definitely check him out. Check him out on his YouTube page, on his Facebook page. And so with that, thanks again, Micah, for joining us today. We really appreciate you. And yeah, there's his Facebook in the chat for everyone. So everybody grab that real quick. And with that, we are just going to pray blessing over each and every one of you. So thank you, everyone, today. Thanks so much, Micah.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
God
See you.
bless.
Bye-bye.